Welcome back, everyone. We've been taking a look at how to squeeze more performance out of data streaming systems.
Oh, yeah, a lot of cool stuff going on there.
And today we're going to unpack some research that addresses a really common problem.
Hmm.
You've got all these similar queries hitting the system.
Right, right.
Like imagine a fire hose of data from a stock ticker.
Uh-huh.
Now, picture thousands of users who all want slightly different reports on that same data.
Yeah.
It can overwhelm even the most robust system.
Absolutely, that's a huge bottleneck.
And that's exactly what this research dives into, how to handle that flood of similar queries without everything grinding to a halt.
That's a tough nut to crack, for sure.
Oh, luckily we've got an expert here to help us break down the solutions.
Happy to be here. It's a fascinating problem.
So let's jump right in.
Okay, sounds good.
The researchers came up with not one, but three clever ways to tackle this.
Oh, wow, that's ambitious.
They really went all out. The first one is called shared time slices, or STS for short.
Okay, STS, I'm listening.
And it's all about being smart about how we divide up that continuous stream of data.
Gotcha.
Instead of reprocessing the entire stream for every new query, STS chops it up into these manageable time chunks.
Like pre-processing, sort of.
Exactly. Think of them as building blocks.
Interesting.
So when a new request comes in, the system can just grab the relevant time slices and combine them.
Without having to crunch through the whole thing again and again.
Exactly. It's like instead of baking a new cake every time someone wants a piece,
I like where this is going.
you just bake one giant cake and then cut it up in different ways.
Smart. So you got your cake and you can eat it too.
Right. And the best part is,
Yeah.
the researchers actually compared different ways of slicing that data cake.
Oh, really?
Yeah. They found that a technique called paired windows was the most efficient.
Paired windows, huh? I've heard of that, but I'm not sure I fully grasp it.
It's like having the perfect size slices ready to go no matter what kind of data cake someone's requesting.
Oh, I see. So it's about optimizing those slices for different combinations.
Exactly. Maximum efficiency.
I'm starting to see how powerful this could be.
Right. And that's just the first solution, STS.
Okay, so what about the second one? What else did they come up with?
The second one tackles another layer of complexity filtering.
Filtering. That's always a tricky one.
It's called shared data fragments, or SDF.
SDF. Okay, let's hear it.
So imagine some users only want data on tech stocks,
Right?
while others are only interested in high-volume trades.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
SDF takes care of that by dynamically grouping the data points that meet specific criteria.
So it's like tagging the data.
Exactly. And storing them as these fragments.
Interesting. So instead of sifting through everything,
The system can instantly access only the relevant fragments.
that's a clever way to speed things up.
It's all about agility and responsiveness.
I like it.
It's like having a super organized filing system where you can immediately grab the file you need.
Yeah, without having to search through piles of paperwork.
Precisely. No more digging through mountains of data.
That's a huge time saver.
Right. And SDF does this tagging and grouping in real time.
Oh, wow, in real time.
As the queries come in, it adapts to the demands of the system.
So it's dynamic, not static.
Exactly. Real categorization.
That's pretty impressive.
Now, the third solution is where things get really interesting.
Okay, lay it on me.
It's called shared data shards, or SDS.
SDS. I'm intrigued.
And it's like the ultimate efficiency booster.
Okay, I'm all ears.
SDS takes the best of both worlds, that time slicing from SDS and the data filtering from SDF.
So it's like a hybrid approach.
You got it. And it combines them into this powerful dynamic system.
Okay, I'm following you.
Picture this.
Yeah.
Each shard is like a pre-packaged unit of data.
Prepackaged.
It contains a specific time slice with specific filter criteria already applied.
So it's like having those meal kits ready to go.
Exactly. Minimizing redundant work by anticipating those common requests.
Makes sense.
And the beauty of SDS is that it's not static.
Oh, good.
It constantly analyzes the incoming queries.
Okay, so it's learning and adapting.
It's a learning system. It gets smarter over time.
Wow, that's really something.
So we've got these three approaches: STS, SDF, and SDS.
Yeah, each one tackling a different aspect of efficiency.
But the real question is, did they actually work?
Yeah, that's what I want to know. Did the researchers put these theories to the test?
They absolutely did. And the results were pretty remarkable.
Okay, tell me more.
They used real stock market data to simulate that high-volume dynamic environment.
So a real-world test.
And then they compared the performance of each solution against those traditional unshared methods.
And that's where things get interesting, right?
You can say that again.
Okay, so spill the beans. How much faster did these new approaches actually make things?
Well, in some cases, the performance improvements were pretty dramatic. We're talking an order of magnitude faster.
Oh, that's huge.
To give you a concrete example, in one scenario, with 256 simultaneous queries, the unshared method took over 50 seconds to process the data.
50 seconds, that's a long time when you're talking about real-time data.
Exactly. While the shared approach, specifically the shared paired method using those optimized time slices,
Oh, right, those paired windows?
completed the same task in a mere 2.6 seconds.
2.6 seconds compared to 50. That's amazing.
Talk about efficiency.
So, did they test all three sharing approaches? Did they all perform that well?
They did. They rigorously tested each approach
Okay, good.
and compared them against those unshared methods.
What were the results?
Across the board, the shared approaches STS, SDF, and SDS consistently outperformed the traditional methods,
Even when things got more complicated.
even when they threw some curveballs their way.
Curveballs? What do you mean?
Well, in one set of tests, they focused specifically on queries with different filtering criteria,
Okay, so varying what data they were asking for.
but using the same time window.
So putting SDF to the test.
Exactly. And again, SDF blew the unshared method out of the water,
Wow, how much faster was it?
reducing processing time by almost 90% in some cases.
90%. That's insane. It's incredible how much more efficient these systems become just by sharing and reusing those pre-processed data chunks.
It seems almost counterintuitive, doesn't it?
Does it first?
Well, when you think about it,
Yeah.
it makes perfect sense. Instead of reinventing the wheel each time,
You're leveraging the work that's already been done.
precisely.
Yeah.
It's like building a house with prefabricated components
Oh, I like that analogy.
instead of starting from scratch with every brick.
That's a great way to put it. So we've seen that sharing in general leads to significant performance gains.
Right.
But I'm curious about those paired windows you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
Did the researchers find that this specific time slicing technique was consistently better?
They did. Regardless of whether they were using shared or unshared methods,
Oh, interesting.
the paired approach, using those carefully calculated time slices, consistently outperformed the alternative pained approach.
Which used a different slicing method.
Exactly.
I wonder why that is. What makes those paired windows so special?
Well, the paired approach creates these time slices that are optimized for combination and reuse.
I see, like Lego blocks that fit together perfectly.
Exactly, allowing you to create a wide variety of structures with minimal effort.
Whereas the pained approach creates slices that are less flexible.
And require more processing to combine.
Got it. So it's all about those optimized slices.
Right. Now, what about those situations where both the time window and the filtering criteria vary?
Yeah, that seems like the ultimate challenge for these data streaming systems.
You're right. That's where things get really complex.
So that's where shared data shards, or SDS, comes in, right?
It is. It's the all-star player that combines the power of STS and SDF
So the best of both worlds.
to tackle the most demanding scenarios,
Like a master chef who can whip up any dish you desire.
using a combination of pre-prepared ingredients and on-the-fly cooking techniques.
Exactly. SDS is all about dynamic adaptation and intelligent resource allocation.
It's not just relying on those predefined data chunks.
It constantly analyzes the incoming queries, identifies patterns.
And adjusts its approach to ensure maximum efficiency.
It's like having a self-learning system.
That gets smarter and more efficient over time.
Wow, that's impressive. Did the researchers test SDS in these more complex scenarios?
They did. They tested it in two really challenging scenarios.
Oh, what were they?
One with a mix of shared and unique queries.
Okay, bit of everything.
And another where every single query was unique with no opportunity for sharing.
Wow, so a real stress test for the system.
And even in that low sharing environment,
Yeah,
FDS still managed to significantly outperform the unshared method,
really. How much faster was it?
cutting processing time almost in half.
That's still a massive improvement, especially with those complex queries. So SDS is like the ultimate multi-tool.
For data streaming systems.
It can handle a wide range of queries. Simple, complex, shared, unique.
And it does it all with remarkable efficiency.
That's pretty remarkable. But what's even more exciting is that these techniques aren't limited to stock market data.
Right. Any system dealing with a constant influx of similar queries could benefit.
From social media analytics to scientific research to sensor networks.
It's true. The possibilities are endless. So this research has the potential to revolutionize the way we handle big data. In countless fields, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It really is. And I think it highlights the importance of moving beyond those traditional one-size-fits-all approaches to data analysis.
especially in today's world where data is constantly growing and changing.
Exactly. We need dynamic, adaptive solutions like STS, SDF, and SDS.
Solutions that can keep pace with the ever-increasing flood of information.
It's like the difference between having a static roadmap and a GPS navigation system that adjusts to real-time traffic conditions.
That's a great analogy. And just like a GPS helps you navigate complex road networks.
These shared data processing techniques can help us navigate the ever-expanding universe of data.
Extracting valuable insights and making more informed decisions.
Precisely.
Well, after diving deep into this research, I'm definitely feeling a lot more optimistic about our ability to handle the data deluge.
Me too. It seems like we have the tools and the techniques.
To turn this fire hose of information into a manageable stream of knowledge.
Absolutely. And I think the key takeaway here
Is that sharing isn't just a nice social gesture.
it's a fundamental principle for efficient data processing.
Whether it's sharing time slices, data fragments, or entire data shards.
These collaborative approaches have the potential to unlock incredible performance gains.
And enable us to tackle increasingly complex data challenges.
Exactly.
It's amazing to think about how these concepts could be applied in different fields.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
We've talked about stock market data, but what about something like healthcare?
Oh, healthcare. That's a great example. Imagine a hospital network with thousands of patients,
Yeah.
all generating these continuous streams of data.
Wow, that's a lot of data.
Heart rate, blood pressure, oxygen levels.
It's like a constant flow of information.
And if we could apply these sharing techniques to analyze those similar patterns, like identifying patients with similar symptoms or responses to treatment,
Oh, that's interesting.
you could potentially diagnose conditions earlier, personalize treatments more effectively, or even predict potential health risks before they become critical.
It's almost like a medical early warning system,
Right.
alerting doctors to those subtle patterns.
That might otherwise go unnoticed.
It wouldn't just be about reactive care either.
No, it could be about proactive prevention.
Exactly. And think about the potential for research.
Oh, yeah, huge potential there.
Analyzing massive data sets of shared patient data.
Researchers could identify new correlations, discover more effective treatment protocols,
Even develop personalized medicine strategies.
tailored to specific genetic profiles. The possibilities are mind-blowing.
It's incredible to think how data sharing could transform healthcare,
Absolutely.
but it goes beyond healthcare.
Yeah, any field where you have tons of data?
Any field where large amounts of data are generated and analyzed.
Exactly. What about transportation, for example?
Oh, transportation. Yeah, that's a good one.
Imagine applying these concepts to traffic management systems.
In those smart cities everyone's talking about.
Right. Analyzing real-time data from thousands of vehicles, their speed, location, direction. You could identify congestion points,
Wow.
optimize traffic light timing, even suggest alternate routes.
All in real time.
All in real time.
From gridlock to smooth sailing.
That's the goal.
What about scientific research?
Oh, yeah. Don't get me started on scientific research.
It feels like astronomy and particle physics are dealing with massive amounts of data.
Mountains of it.
Imagine applying SDS to analyze data from the Large Hadron Collider.
Or the James Webb Space Telescope.
Yeah.
Those instruments generate an insane amount of data every second.
It's mind-boggling.
And researchers are trying to find those tiny signals.
Those needles in the haystack.
Exactly. SDS could help filter out the noise, identify those hidden patterns, and accelerate those breakthroughs.
So this research has implications far beyond just optimizing data streaming systems.
It's about changing how we approach data analysis in general
It's about finding those insights more efficiently.
and making better decisions based on that data.
This deep dive has been incredibly insightful.
I agree. It's been a good one.
It's really opened my eyes to the power of shared data processing
It's a game changer.
and its potential to change the way we understand the world around us.
Absolutely.
It's exciting to think about where this research will lead.
Yeah, who knows what the future holds.
As data continues to grow, these innovative approaches to data sharing will become even more critical,
For sure.
helping us unlock new knowledge, solve complex problems.
And create a better future.
Well said. And on that note, we'll wrap up this deep dive.
Okay, sounds good.
We've covered a lot today, exploring those cutting-edge data streaming systems and how they can revolutionize data analysis across so many fields.
It's been a great discussion, very thought-provoking.
I encourage everyone to keep exploring, keep learning,
Keep pushing the boundaries of what's possible.
because as we've seen today, when we share data and insights, we unlock a world of possibilities. Until next time, happy data diving.
See you around.